Coming up on the Starr Midday News today, traders at the Zongo Lane near Rawlins Park demand access to their stores amidst fire outbreak as firefighters struggle to douse the flames that have been active for close to 24 hours. We'll be bringing you some live updates from the Central Business District of Accra. Also, ranking member of the Health Committee clashes with the management of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital over suspension of elective surgeries for patients as he's prevented from inspecting the faulty elevator. And later on, here on the Starr Midday News, the Tamale High Court has ordered a rerun of the MPP's parliamentary primaries for the Wale Wale constituency. We've got details of all of these stories and more coming up for you today on the Starr Midday News. Do stay tuned.
Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA, also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM. Starr News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
Thank you very much once again for joining us. The bulletin is streaming live on Facebook. Connect with us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and X, and YouTube with the handle at Starr 103.5 FM. Also take a look at starfm.com.gh. My name is Lantam, Papanko. Now, traders at the Zongo Lane near the Rawlins Park in Accra are demanding access to their store. City officials and officers of the Ghana National Fire Service have cordoned off stores in the area as part of efforts to douse the flame that has been active for over 24 hours. Items worth thousands of Ghana cedis have been destroyed so far, and some shop owners have been speaking to Starr News.
Warehouse. Now, what on day? Material fabrics. Into tell me now, say ija told so.
And not about 12:30 will be friend.
And you are 12:30.
Yeah, almost from my area.
Oh, into buy which me who nyamano.
Me a shop no home. You who near money there, but I'm my family uncle.
Don't you say Jan is still na is so.
That is so.
Mantrono.
Ah, okay.
And you don't care what I'm getting no matter.
But sir, how do you feel?
But he said you're quite dear. You knew the air. Once and can be a shop for one and Kajan and Kang or the Kenya Quenja Binanka. It's really to be in money to cry. Kabawaya, Kasa, Nina, at the shop.
Yeah, Mamma finds him.
By a month to try ambassador. Other person by a trial ambassador.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the mayor of Accra, Elizabeth Saki, who attributes the fire to illegal connections or illegal conversions of residential facilities into warehouses, says persons involved in the practice will be prosecuted.
At 6 o'clock, and then I've come here again this morning because yesterday I thought the light, the burning, will go down. Unfortunately, I called and this morning I was told it's still burning. So I'm here to have a look at how far it has gone. But fortunately for me, we had a drone that is also going around. Yeah, we have a drone that is going around.
You have a drone?
A drone, yeah.
What's the drone doing?
It's monitoring the situation that is going on in the room and informing the fire service as to what to do. So that's the purpose of the drone. Unfortunately, yesterday when we came, there was this, I'm told it belongs to the Chinese.
The stretches belongs to the Chinese?
Yes, okay. Yes. And I met them here, but they pretended as if they don't understand the English. So I peacefully left them, and fortunately, there was one amongst them who was from the UN embassy. And she told them that, oh, I'm the mayor. So then they started opening up a bit. But I'm told when I left them, Then the fire service also continued the interrogation, and then they have to open up to let them know that it was last Friday that they came out with some products, and when they packed it, they packed 4 containers of shoes, 11 containers of plastic, and then 7 containers of mattresses.
In that particular warehouse?
In that particular, yes. And there are 20 cylinders also on top of where they are, because they say they at lunch they cook and eat over them. So that I'm foreseeing that has caused the serious mess that we're seeing. They started trying to put down this fire since yesterday, and you can still things are burning. And I asked the fire service, they told me it's because of the parking.
It's because of the what?
The parking, the way they pack the things, the load therein. And so they were expecting that, they are advising that there shouldn't be residency. That's what they sought for, to build a residency. And so they shouldn't have used the residency as a warehouse, which of course it was at the blind side of our because we didn't know they were using it for warehouse until today that we stand here. And so what does
that mean they flouted the law then?
They flouted the law.
So what's going to happen to them?
They have to face the legal. We prosecute them by investigating the matter, because they should know that if they have all these things to put here, it should be in a warehouse and not in a residential place. And that's what I'm foreseeing.
Elizabeth Saki is the mayor of Accra. She's the chief executive officer of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Speaking to my colleague Awisi Dede Jangwe, we'll bring you some more updates as and when we have it with regard to how far the fire service have been able to go as far as dousing this flame is concerned. But of course, you're still listening to the Star Midday News here on Star 103.5 FM, and the bulletin is live across our affiliate stations in the country.
Star News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA, also live on Facebook on Star 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Star 103.5 FM, Star News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
Now, management of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital this morning prevented ranking member for the Health Committee, Kwabna Minta Akando, from inspecting a faulty elevator, which has resulted in the suspension of elective surgeries at the facility. The Dwaboso MP clashed with management of the facility, who demanded an official letter covering his visit. The development generated heated exchanges. Addressing the media, Kwabna Minta Akando called the bluff of the management of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, slamming them for failing to embark on routine maintenance of the facility. He gave the health minister 24 hours to ensure the elevator is fixed, to bring some reprieve to patients.
Of patients to get the quality of healthcare they need. I mean, why? What happens to routine maintenance in this country? What happens to routine maintenance in this country? So you wait till all your lifts are down, and then you say that people must not come for the healthcare they need. It's rather unfortunate. And therefore, I am calling on the government, the minister responsible for health, within the next 24 hours. They cannot suspend surgery indefinitely. Within the next 24 hours, we must see the end of this unconscionable behavior. We cannot accept that reason. And so within the next 24 hours, they must tell us when they are fixing the lift at Kolebu. It is not a rocket science to fix a 40 lift. It's not rocket science at all. And so we need somebody to come and speak to us, and not only to speak or to address the country, but to tell us when exactly these lifts will be fixed. We cannot accept indefinite suspension of selective surgeries as a country.
Kwabena Minta Akando is the ranking member on the Health Committee in Parliament. Now, there is a looming threat of a water crisis across the country. This is following reports of water shortages in various parts of the country due to the Ghana Water Company Limited's inability to meet supply. Over the weekend, the Ghana Water Company Limited in the Central Region revealed its Setre Himang treatment plant was able to produce only a quarter of its capacity. This has worsened already existing water supply challenges in the Central Region. The water company is attributing the shortfall in water supply to activities of illegal miners on the River Pra. Now, this is something that we will return to and bring you some more updates on. But let's switch our attention to Tamale in the Northern Region, because the Tamale High Court, presided over by Justice Richard Mark, has issued an order for the rerun of the disputed NPP parliamentary primaries for the Wali Wali constituency. The judge, who is yet to deliver the full judgment, has instructed the second defendant and third defendant to conduct a rerun in accordance with electoral laws. Now, let's get more from our Northern Regional correspondent, Noah Nash. Noah, welcome to the bulletin. What more can you tell us about this outcome from the court as regards the elections, the MPP's primaries in the Wali Wali constituencies?
I can tell you that this was a very charged atmosphere this morning, especially looking at the fact that the time given by the judge was around 9:30 for the reading of the judgment. Apparently, the judge was early in court and actually took everybody by surprise by starting the proceeding at 9. And that alone, actually, by the time the crowd that was actually massing up in court came in, he had delivered his judgment. So it was a free-for-all insult and fight at the court premises today, up to the point that one of the supporters of Larba was actually slapped, beaten at the point, and the police have to rescue him because the crowd that actually met him at the entrance actually, by then the judge had given his verdict, so it actually resulted in that exchanges that resulted in an assault activity that took place in the premises of the court.
Now, were you able to talk to any of the lawyers of the two who were in this dispute?
Two of the lawyers spoke to us. One had to speak to us outside the court, and one spoke to us in the premises of the court. Samson Ladi, who was expecting the judge to actually not to annul the result itself, was quite furious. He said, look, he felt that per the fact that he was brought to court by the plaintiff, he expected the judge to have actually sympathized with his client, because his client has actually proven that the plaintiff actually benefited from the atrocity that he actually brought to the court. And he felt that the plaintiff would have been very remorseful enough to have allowed the process to have been given to his client. But she felt that she needed to gain a benefit from that process. So therefore, he actually brought it to court, which he felt was unfair. The plaintiff counsel felt that they felt it was right for the judge to actually give them a rerun, because one, the processes were actually flawed. To them, they felt that the people who impersonated and voted shouldn't have been allowed by the second defendant and then the third defendant. So they were happy with the court. And it was just a brief comment he made, and quite showing gratitude to the court.
Very well, Noah Nash, thank you for bringing us that update from Tamale in the Northern Region. And that is Noah Nash, our correspondent in the Northern Regional capital of Tamale, bringing us updates in the aftermath of a high court in Tamale ordering a rerun of the NPP's parliamentary primaries for the Wali Wali constituency. Now, let's take you back to the Central Region, where there is a looming threat of a water crisis across the country. This is following reports of water shortages in various parts of the country due to the Ghana Water Company Limited's inability to meet supply. Now, over the weekend, the Ghana Water Company Limited in the Central Region revealed that its Setrahimang treatment plant was able to produce only a quarter of its capacity. This has worsened already existing water supply challenges in the Central Region. The water company is attributing the shortfall in the water supply to the activities of illegal miners on the River Pra.
The recent demand-supply gap is as a result of inadequate raw water received at the Setrahimang water treatment plant as a result of galamsey, pollution of the Pra River along its course, and most especially at the catchment for abstraction has reduced water embankment to the barest minimum. About 60% of the catchment capacity is silted as a result of illegal mining, compromising the quality of water. We are currently recording an average turbidity of 14,000 NTU instead of 20,000 NTU designed for adequate treatment. Currently, the plant is able to produce only about 7,500 meter cube per day, a quarter of its installed capacity. This situation has caused severe inconveniences to our customers, and we sincerely apologize for this. The company is engaging all stakeholders to find a lasting solution to this.
And those are excerpts of a statement released by the Central Region branch of the Ghana Water Company Limited. Now, residents of some communities in the Central Region told our news team that they have resorted to drinking from an abandoned mining pit as the shortage of water hits their communities. Some of the affected communities are Brewa, Anomabo, Yamaransa, and the Cape Coast Municipality.
When we take our bath, we eat till morning. So they should have mercy on us. We don't have access to pipe water anyway. I wake up at 4 a.m. to roam and can't get water anyway. So we have to come and fetch this and bath with it.
The water isn't good for us humans. The pipe has been closed for 3 months. We don't have drinking water. Nanado should have mercy on us. Please, we beg him.
Someone drilled a borehole in the area, so when the tap isn't flowing, that's what we fetch to wash the dishes and use for bathing. But we don't drink it, so when the tap isn't flowing, we're in distress. We have to cross roads and all in search of water. So water is very scarce here. They should do something about it for us.
Since
they closed the tap, this is what we use for everything for about 6 months now. For the school here, everyone, including the teachers and school boys and girls, use this for bathing. And when the water gets contaminated with diseases, we won't even know.
School girls no ya na waso wodi gwal ensu so akaya dade ensu ensi say yareba bi bema ya de yentumi ehu.
Now, threats of imminent water shortage has stakeholders calling for permanent solutions to the issue of illegal small-scale mining. Reacting to the development, convener of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, Engineer Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, warned that schools may be forced to send students home as a result. Dr. Ashigbe wants President Akufo-Addo, despite staking his presidency or putting his presidency on the line as far as the Galamsey fight is concerned, and to actually try and redeem himself in his final days in office.
A country where you deny yourself water, a country where, based on your own activities, a student who is supposed to be in his final year, going to write his final exam currently is in the morgue because he was trying to save somebody in a Galamsey pit and forth into it. A country where the deformation of your newborns, the stillbirths you are getting, renal diseases are on the increase. And then we are sitting here and doing nothing about it. So the situation is really, really dire. Where you've gotten Ghana Water, a state entity coming out with a crisis cry like that. And until now, we have not seen really officialdom respond to it. When the president put his presidency on the line and started the fight, there were a lot of the battles that we won. The things that started flipping it is when we're getting close to the election. And we saw people in the opposition themselves, coming at them, and they themselves also then turning coats. And now in those elections, it's been left for all. So I would urge the president that when he himself has a record of when he decided that he was going to fight this, he should go back to that particular mode. He should start holding his people accountable and realizing that the next generation is more important than the next election. Fortunately for us, he is not going to run again for the next election. So we need him to go back into that mode, a mode that is akin to what the 2-4 is doing currently, and start holding his people accountable.
Well, the Deputy National Director of Operations at Pro Environmental Group, Arocha Ghana, says Darobosu, on his part, revealed that several water treatment plants across the country have begun shutting down because of the challenges associated with water production. He is calling on residents in affected communities to begin resisting illegal miners if they want change.
So if you ask me what's going on, I think it's a free for all now. And also because of the election, nobody is really committed. And I'm sorry to say that even the police, who are supposed to support communities to ensure compliance, they don't see anything wrong with illegal mining now. They are all just watching on. If the leadership is not committed, we'll be wasting our time. I mean, we've had this issue showing its ugly head somewhere in 2016. I remember 2016 in someone had serious water shortages because of some mining activities along the Days River, so they had to shut down the system. Many years down the line, a lot of water uptake stations, treatment centers are also shutting down, and nobody is even interested. If you try to do it, they will come hard at you. They will witch hunt you. I've spoken with a lot of officers who have worked with Ghana Water Company Limited, who have spoken about these issues, and the next time, either they are being sanctioned or something. I mean, it's an internal matter. Why did you take it out? It's usually the narrative. I think communities need to start thinking communal and work together. There is no community where a miner has come and the communities had risen up and said, we don't want you here, that the miners have gone ahead to do it. The miners know the power of the people. And so if the people say they don't want you, they don't want you. And that is how come in certain situations, even government with regards to areas where they wanted to start community mining, they have to send in the police.
Now, the leader of the New Force movement, Nana Kwame Bediako, has questioned why Ghana is still printing currency notes externally when he believes that this can be done domestically. He says when elected president, he will print, or he'll make sure that the country prints notes, and he will make sure that it is backed with reserves.
That's one thing that I would like to add, and I know we probably never thought of it, but why do we buy money? Why do we have to go to England or go to Switzerland, to Delarue, to print our money, and after we fly or ship the money before we have money? What happened to the industrial power that we're creating now? We are going to print money at home. We don't need to go to England or America to print money. We don't need to go anywhere else to go and buy food and bring it here. We don't need to pay 7 times the taxes of whatever that is already in our country and someone has just packaged it. We go and buy it for premium price and bring it back here. That stops because we are going to create it here. Now that we have more reserves, and have even cash reserves, what is next?
Nana Kwame Bediako also says he will run the leanest government if he's given the nod in December. The businessman believes only 12 ministers will be capable of driving his vision. He gave the hint during his manifesto launch in Accra.
They say less is more. Our government will be the leanest, most efficient in the history of African politics. We present to you the apostolic governance, 1 president, 12 ministers. Create a lean government that will be responsible for the 12 pillars. I'll take you through a few of the ministerial mandates because I think it's very important that you know what they have to do. So we start with Ministry of Finance. Over the years, there has been a lot of judgment debts, a lot of salary shortage, a lot of paying and paying and paying without returns.
Nana Kwame Bediako is the leader of the New Force movement, and some of you have been reacting to this on social media. Nana Ama Akwa is in the studio. What have people been saying about Cheda's vision for the country if we should give him the nod to become president?
Well, people are saying that he's for the youth, so we should push him. Others are also saying that maybe next election he should try. So we move on to X. It says, honestly, Cheddar isn't ready, but he's better than a failed economist. We also have on Instagram, Cheddar, you're my favorite, but let GM finish his 4 years and you'll be our president forever. I promise you. Then in Facebook, we have Bank of Ghana will collapse under him. Sadat also says, you think ruling Ghana is about speaking good and sweet English. And our last comment here, Debbie says, I'm surprised about some of the unpleasant and discouraging comments here. We always cry, arise Ghana youth for your country. But when one of our own has stepped forward to lead, and from the comments, it seems he has little or no support from we, the youth. Youth, support him.
Well, interesting comments there on social media. Thank you very much, Nana Ama Akwa, with those comments. And let's zoom into sports now. Jones Aji is in the studio with the details in sports. What's in sports, Jones?
All right, so the Black Stars are in the news, of course, and under 20 World Cup began 2 days ago, and so the Under-20 World Cup has begun in Colombia and enters its third day today, and Ghana will be looking to follow the footsteps of Nigeria as the only African team to win their first game. Now, Ghana's Black Princesses, who are making a 7th successive appearance at the global tournament, face Austria today at 10 p.m. And coach of the side, Yusuf Basigi, says he's impressed with what he has seen from his players.
Because the crowd was massive, and I think that is also a plus for them. Well, they are responding very well, and I'm very much impressed with their performance. Because if you look at from day one, where we had challenges with the altitude, they struggled a little bit, and after 1 week, they were okay, and then we played a game. They showed signs of readiness. We played our second game. They were full of ready to play. As for me, I'm highly motivated, and I look cool because it is not every coach that will get this opportunity. So when you get it, you utilize it very well. And I've made the girls to also understand that this might be their last, or maybe the subsequent one, they may also get opportunity to play for the senior team. But this is the time to justify why they should be included in the senior team. And then the coach is also here to assess them. Which is the Black Queens coach, Nora, is also here. And I would say that that is quite remarkable.
All right, we wish the Princesses all the best today at 10 p.m. against Austria. Now to the senior national team, the Black Stars captain Thomas Partey, Fatal Ishaku, and then Antoine Semenyo are among 15 players who have arrived in the country for the Black Stars 2025 AFCON qualifiers. All other players are expected to arrive before the team trains this evening at the Accra Sports Stadium. The training, which is open to the media and the public, will be the only training in Accra before the team flies to Kumasi tomorrow. The Stars will play Angola on Thursday in Kumasi before engaging Niger in Morocco on Monday. Coach Otoado, John Painstow, and Fatal Dauda, who were unharmed after being involved in a car accident on Sunday, would actually lead the team. Now to tennis. American Coco Gauff saw the defense of her US Open crown come to an end as she suffered a shock defeat to 13th seed Ima Navarro 3-6, 6-4, 3-6 there. And with that, that'll be all for sports. My name is Jones Aji.
Well, thank you very much, Jones Aji, with the very latest in sports. And that's it for the Star Midday News here on Star 103.5 FM. For more news, log on to starfm.com.gh. Also take a look at our social media pages at Star 1035 FM on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, and on YouTube. My name is Lantam Papanko. Have a good day.